Good morning, guys, and welcome to another episode of Island Tea with your faves, Azim and Jade.
Morning!
Morning. Oh, you got your green, though?
Last minute.
Mine look like green? Yeah, mine look like green, but mine just forest green.
You were supposed to remind me.
Bye. Listen, time I think about it, I say, if I remind Azim, now it's too late. So it's either he done got it on or he ain't got it on.
Jade was supposed to remind me. Jade didn't take me on. I look around and I see everybody else gone green. I say, oh, wait, that's today?
Yes, it is today.
Wow. We're so close to independence?
Bye.
Wow. Good morning, guys.
How are you?
I am...
Okay. Good answer.
I am.
I am indeed.
I am that I am that I am.
Oh, Lord. As I'm at sleepy, I ain't get a wink of sleep.
Nothing at all?
Nothing at all, boy.
Well, that's kind of both of us because I don't know. I went down last night. I just stayed up.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
Every time I tried to fall asleep, it was not happening.
what you were doing? What were you doing?
Grieving.
Oh, yeah.
Long live the Queen.
Jade, I ain't taking you on. The amount of people messaged me last night, tell me, I hope Jade happy now.
Excuse me.
I'm saying.
Why would I be happy?
I'm saying.
Y'all was out there acting like I was wishing on your downfall. I just made a super accurate prediction, which scared even me.
That's a good way to put it, Jade.
Yeah, I was wishing on she downfall. I just said she was on she last leg. I didn't know the leg was going to break yesterday.
Well, guys, I'm sure most of you would have known by now. The Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, has passed away.
She did.
Yeah, and
Yikes.
you say the Queen of England, but the truth is she is our head of state.
She's the queen of a lot of people still.
Not really.
Well, enough
Well, a lot of people, yeah. But I mean, it's what 15 nations. She's the head of state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
Boy, y'all ain't got no respect for the dead boy. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
And them social media was wild.
Yeah, I mean, I stayed off.
I did not.
I stayed off. I think I don't want because these things are being in real poor taste for me. But yeah, these things are being real poor taste for me. But what you gonna do? What you gonna do? That's how people operate, you know.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of jokes. It was a lot of jokes and a lot of celebrations.
and that's what I can't understand. Like, and to me, the people that get most like gung ho about these things, it tells me that you don't fully understand much, and you're just kind of going along with the. You're just kind of going along with the with some weird narrative that you think is cool. Because I personally don't understand. Like if you have an issue with the monarchy, then you recognize that Queen Elizabeth's passing changes nothing.
Yeah, because the monarchy still there, man. Still there.
And
Matter of fact, who's next? Charles? No, Charles is the husband, right?
No, Charles next.
Charles? I thought, you sure? Charles was the husband and Andrew next?
Charles is now, until he decides whether or not he's keeping his name, he's King Charles.
No. Oh.
King Charles.
Oh, yeah. Charles is next and then...
Charles is her son, yeah.
And then William.
Yeah. I don't make it a habit to celebrate people's downfall. No matter what I think about the person, I don't celebrate downfalls.
I wasn't celebrating it. Yeah. Some people... Ah! Oh, boy. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the jokes are funny, but celebrating somebody's death is never...
Yeah, poor taste, man. Like, too early. It was a bit early.
Early? What's too early for people?
Mm.
What's too early for people?
Yeah.
These jokes can fly.
Yeah. Again, I recognize that the world lacks empathy.
Boy.
And the thing that does upset me about these things is these the same people who would turn around and pretend as if they're so woke and they're so concerned about humanity.
None of them there.
They're so concerned about humanity and what. Come on.
I seen none of them people yesterday.
Come on.
You see, I think Ireland was the worst. They had a concert and then the water sporting activity, and they were literally
Sorry.
they were literally chanting Lizzie's in a box. A
Yeah.
lot of y'all not going to heaven, eh? Like a lot. I hope y'all know that a lot of y'all, them pearly gates ain't open for y'all because what in the world?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like,
But-
I just wish people would put the same level of energy into, if this is what you really want, distancing yourself from the monarchy, from the Commonwealth, as they put into celebrating the downfall.
Okay, well, you know.
Jade, how would we know? You could go back to the
Hi. Who's waving at us? Darwin is waving at us. Well, no, because he sent me a message and said that he's ready. Hopefully. That's what he usually does.
I'm ready.
Oh.
Is there a delay? Are you hearing me?
We're good,
Yeah,
Darren.
yeah,
Good
yeah.
morning,
Oh,
Darren.
yeah,
Good
yeah.
morning.
Okay. All right. I think is everybody in the room? I believe
No, they're
so.
not.
We have. Sorry.
No, they're not. We're missing one person.
Oh, okay. That's fine. We'll proceed. Just what I'm going to do to sort of lay the groundwork for this conversation, I'm going to play the broadcast as it came off live on BBC announcing the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. There's a little bit of a preamble, but just bear with us. I think it's a good way to start our conversation this morning. All right, let's see. All right. Okay, Mr.
The
Technical.
BBC is interrupting its normal programmes to bring you an important announcement. This is BBC News from London. Buckingham Palace has announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. In a statement, the palace said the Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow. BBC Television is broadcasting this special programme reporting the death of Her Majesty the Queen.
All right, well, there you have it, and you can hear the crackle in that reporter's voice. I can only imagine the emotion that was experienced, and I just want to say at this point a very special good morning to Her Excellency Karen Mae-Hill, Antigua and Barbuda's High Commissioner in London. I hope she can hear me clearly. Good morning, Madam High Commissioner. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing us?
I think she just entered the room actually, so let's give her a
Okay.
moment, so-
Oh, there she is. All right, there we are. Okay, good morning. Good morning. Good
Hi,
morning,
Darren, how are you?
Excellency. I'm fine, thank you. Just introduce you to our friends in St. Kitts. You see the lovely Jade Johnson, and Azem Bailey, the hosts of Island Tea, of our sister station over there in St. Kitts, Win FM. And I believe we have Arvel Grant. Is Arvel Grant on the Zoom as yet?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, hi.
Good morning, Excellency. Good morning, everybody.
Good
Mr.
morning.
Grant, hello, St. Kitts.
Okay. So there's just one person missing so far. We and haven't been able to reach him this morning as yet. That's Mr. Orin Gordon. He's he's a former broadcaster at the BBC. But hopefully he'll join us before we've concluded. But thank you so much. Jade, are you okay? You look a little, I don't know. You're looking at something. You're
I'm just setting up. I'm just resetting up so everybody can be seen.
Oh, okay. That's how you look when you're setting things
Yes.
up. All right. May I, at this point, just pose a question to Her Excellency Ambassador Karen Mae-Hill, High Commissioner in London for Antigua and Barbuda. Your feeling. Let's deal with how you felt when you first realized that something was going perhaps not the way we wanted it to go in terms of the well-being of the Queen. Just give us some perspective of how the announcement came to you, and give us some perspective as to how you felt about what happened yesterday.
Well, good afternoon from London. Good morning, Darren, and good afternoon, morning to the folks in St. Kitts, and of course to Mr. Grant. Well, yesterday I was actually in the office, and there was a breaking news story that flashed up on my phone that the doctors of the Queen were concerned about her health. This is very unusual here because they generally don't speak about the Queen's health, let alone to issue a statement. And then the BBC immediately pulled all its coverage, its regular coverage, and started to carry stories about the Queen and her family. This went on for several hours. And then we heard that the family were all rushing to get to Balmoral. And I think a lot of us who observed the sort of coincidence of things thought that something pretty spectacular would have happened or was about to happen. How did I feel? Well, all my life, this is someone that we've seen, and I always just approach people as people. And someone has died who's lived a very long life, a very fulfilling life. Yet, I don't think there's ever going to be a time in my life where it's okay for my mom to die or my dad to die, that they're old enough to die. So I certainly don't subscribe to that sort of philosophy. Others may, but I don't. And I just think that, someone died and it's always sad.
Yeah, fair enough. Arvel Grant, your reflections on what transpired yesterday?
Just a little deeply reflective, I think, is the best way to describe it, because I grew up with Queen Elizabeth II as a phenomenon, not just a person, not just a human, not just a part of global existence. And you kind of took that kind of thing for granted, that she's there and is always there. And then suddenly, like Her Excellency, I noticed a shift in the tone of how things were being said and done about her in the last day or so. And it suddenly occurred to me that, we're entering a new space. And it all happened so quickly that, you kind of went along with the evolution of things. But certainly for me, deeply contemplative, and especially because the late Queen would have been so skilled at keeping out of mischief, at being such a balanced part of how we saw the world, that I think, well, certainly I'll miss her, and I'm saddened, deeply saddened by her passing. At 96, my own mother passed at 101, and I was kind of thinking she probably would get there.
Yeah, I suspect so. Jade, Azem, you have a question for Her Excellency or for Arvel, by chance?
So what is the atmosphere like where you are? I'm not sure where you are, but I'm sure people
London
have been reacting. And what have you been seeing so far?
Well, Jaden, as it's London is traditionally grey and damp. It hasn't been for most of the summer, but as would be fitting to someone who's lived a life of such exemplary service, that the heavens opened yesterday, and it was quite a rainy day, as if even the heavens were weeping at this loss. But certainly the British public is devastated. There's a lot of sadness. Visual sadness across the country. People here have been very open about the fact that the person who they met from birth and was there through all the phases of their life to present is no longer there. And flowers are being laid, tributes are being left, and everyone is, I suppose, waiting for the official events to roll through for them to show their respects even more. But all the television stations, the radio stations are given full coverage to this extraordinary lady, her life and her legacy.
All right.
Jamaica, the government has declared a period of mourning. All of the Anglican churches in the 14 capitals yesterday tolled their bells for an hour, and where government has issued a statement requesting that Jamaicans avoid as much as possible celebratory activities during the period of mourning. And so it's the Jamaican process really has kind of taken it on quite seriously at the level of government and state. It's left to be seen how people at street level will relate to it. But certainly, yes, that something special has happened. The media is not gone to playing Bach and Handel, but there's a lot of constant referencing to the passing of Her Majesty and the coming to the throne of King Charles III.
Great. Her Excellency, were you officially informed by Buckingham Palace as the High Commissioner?
Yes, there is quite a process, and as a matter of fact, we would have been informed at a particular point, but we were under an embargo until it was announced. Everything is scripted for these things, Darren. There's every second of the next 10 days, from the day of death to how the announcement is made, who gathers where, what happens, is all scripted. And we have had over the years special meetings where we are briefed on how Operation London Bridge would unfold when that day comes. And so, yes, we were informed, and I was able to share that with the Minister of Foreign Affairs. But hierarchy of the government, but certainly we were asked to keep that in silence.
Yeah, understood. I had posted London Bridge is down, and I got a bit of reaction, and they're like, Dan, what are you saying? Or why are you putting it that way? And I said, well, it was actually code for putting things in place. It was actually a trigger for the plan to be executed. Do I have that right? Essentially, it's like almost like a secret code, if you will.
Yes. Once we see the term London Bridge is now in operation, we have been briefed as to what that means over the years.
Okay.
As with Prince Philip, it was Operation Fort Worth, and so then there's a code name for everyone in these situations.
Yeah. Yes. Totally understood.
Go ahead, Darren.
No, sorry. I was just asking Azam is very quiet. I'm curious as to why. Azam, what's going through your mind now, Azam?
No, I mean I've been listening keenly. I have. Even yesterday, once we saw the news, we got the news that the doctors were concerned about her health while we were on the show yesterday, and of course we hoped for the best. In this case, we know what transpired, but I'm very much interested in how she'd be remembered, her legacy. People like my mother in particular, and perhaps I would say people from, the generation before mine, seem to have a really, like a love affair with the royals, and I think her passing really has impacted the entire world. No matter what you think about England or the monarchy, I think that it's definitely a sad day for a lot of persons around the world, and I don't really personally, I really don't have a lot of let's say love for persons who seem to be celebrating in the passing of persons. We were talking a bit about that before we started this conversation, but I've just really been observing what's been happening so far, to be totally honest.
Yeah. Any thoughts on that, Her Excellency?
I think as your comments are really quite well reasoned, if I dare say that. I think you've struck a very nice balance between what has happened, her legacy, and what she means to so many people. There are lots of times for in the future for other debates and other discussions around things that are sensitive with respect to the institution of monarchy. But I think at this time, what we should really seek to reflect on correctly is a life of service, the legacy of that life, and how we assess that. Certainly in the Caribbean, how do we assess that given our with Britain? From whether from the period of empire to the period of the Commonwealth, to the period of our sort of political independence, there's a lot of reflection that would need to happen. But I do think that the life that I have seen, and I suppose if I could take the High Commissioner hat off and put it to the side and just be me for a second, I think that she was called to duty by accident of birth, but yet nonetheless called to duty, and she acquitted herself with distinction. And that is why we're seeing what we're seeing around the world. People don't try and put on tweets and issue statements just out of obligation. There are lots of people from all walks of life around the entire globe who have said the same things about this lady: remarkable, loyal, dedicated, decent, and I think she must have done something right in her 96 years.
Yeah, fair to say. Arvel, what do you think when you think of Queen Elizabeth II? I mean, I was sharing with the listeners this morning an Auntie Debbie's reflection. Her first prime minister was Winston Churchill, who was born in the late 1800s. And just 3 days ago now, 3 days or 4 days ago, she would have sworn in Liz Truss, who was born in 1970. Well, basically the same time I was born, roughly. Quite remarkable in terms of her impact and her life, the span of her life, and how she, as Her Excellency just said, how she acquitted herself in terms of her dedication to duty. Your thoughts about all of that?
Well, you could look at her service at that level, but if you pull it a notch down and you say this is a queen who is patron of 600 organizations, 600 charities, that she finds time to lend support to. No, not hobnobbing with the princes and kings and presidents of the world, but doing things that mean real things to people on the ground. That's the kind of thing that appeals to me. That this lady would have served 70 years of her life doing this. She could have sailed the oceans, lived anywhere, done anything else, but to find time to dedicate a life of service to advancing the interest of simple people through those charities, I find that deeply moving. And certainly I think that she would have done many other good things. But a life of service to the common people is what I think makes kings and queens and princes and captains of industry special. And for that alone, she's been remarkably special to me.
Yeah. All right. Certainly a very strong personal note there. Jade, you have a question for either Arvel or Her Excellency?
Well, I'm just interested in the protocol. What's next?
Okay.
What should we expect to see happening now that this protocol has been triggered?
Well, I think over the next 10 days, the protocol, as you rightly said, will be rolled out. So on I think a day or two from now, the body will leave Balmoral and come to London. The Queen will lie in state at Westminster for 4 days. There will be special sittings of Parliament. There will be leading up to the service on day 10. And so it'll just be a series of events with lying in state and so on over the next few days.
Okay. Follow up, Jade? Oh, you're good.
Oh, no, that's fine. Thank you.
Darren,
Yeah,
if we just think of what happens at street level for a minute, the national anthem of the United Kingdom is now reworded to sing "God Save the King." We have a very interesting situation where the people who from time to time buy and sell and spend pounds, the British sterling, will begin to notice over little time that the portrait of the late Queen is being replaced by His Majesty King Charles III. These little things that we've taken for granted over the decades will begin to shift subtly and slowly. And so people who think that this is about England and the Queen and Britain, it's about all of us. Everything that we've taken for granted in relation to the reign of Her Majesty will begin to shift in a very gentle way and in a very focused way, and we will notice the difference.
Yeah. There was, as Arvel was just sharing that bit of information there and that perspective, the thoughts, of course, are now going to turn to King Charles III, as you just mentioned. He, of course, has been in public life, and one of the things that I think many people are wondering, the Queen was a blank slate when she became Queen. King Charles is not so much a blank slate. I think many of us know what his views are on the environment or on myriad of issues. Let's just put it that way. How much of a challenge, to the extent that you can say, Her Excellency, at least share your thoughts. To what extent do you think it might be difficult for King Charles King Charles III to be specific, to address that concern, and that will probably be on the minds of many people, not just in the United Kingdom, but all over the world?
The Queen lived by the motto "Never complain, never explain," as you know, Darren, and that served her well throughout her life. And perhaps we have this level of outpouring because she has stayed above the fray. Because whatever side you land in an argument, you're going to offend some and you're going to win some. And I suppose part of the charm of being monarchy is to stay. Is not necessarily neutral, because people have, I'm sure, they're entitled to their opinions, but you certainly don't express them publicly, because again, to express an opinion will alienate some and win some to you. But of course, we're in the 21st century, and many people speak about issues of relevance, and how do you evolve to fit into a modern world, and the issues that people face today are perhaps similar to what existed years ago in some respects, but they have been given extra oxygen by this thing called social media. And so we have a world that's connected more than it's ever been connected before. Before, you sent a mail in a boat, perhaps when the Queen was a child. So you got things around it. Telegrams, a very old snail pace. But now, in a second, a single statement, a single gesture can actually be catapulted around the world in fractions of a second. And so, perhaps it should cause anyone in public office to reflect more on words and on actions, because of how easily it can become catapulted and oftentimes misconstrued. And I think King Charles will have to find a way to balance that. I think we should allow him to grieve this week for his mother, and allow time to reveal how he approaches his role. Certainly, we've seen in the past he's been outspoken on some issues especially around the sustainable development field and climate change. As a matter of fact, in some respects, he's been a little bit ahead of his time in some of the things that he's spoken about, as was his father. So certainly we look forward to seeing how he balances that, because even now with the climate change matter, Darren, people are saying we need to revive nuclear power plants, etc., because of what's happening with energy. Should we allow people to freeze to death, or do we do that? So there's a lot of different issues you'll have to I don't want to use the word dance around, but treat with. But now, as king, I think his perspectives may have to, be more circumspect in many ways.
I think he recognizes that, because apparently someone just shared with me a comment that he made suggesting, I'm not an idiot. I know I'm going to have to be careful with what I say. Or words to that effect. Very quickly, just to let our listeners know, particularly for those listeners who are now, there's some background noise. I'm not sure if that's you, Arvel. Is that you?
Yeah, it's done. A piece of equipment is passing and sticking around.
Oh, okay. All right. Just to let our listeners know, both in Antigua and Barbuda and in the Federation of St. Kitts, and wherever you are listening to us around the world, our very special guest, Her Excellency Karen Mae-Hill. She is Antigua and Barbuda's ambassador in London. So she's certainly there to witness this, very historic event. And also we have, our regular guest, Arvel Grant. I think Arvel needs very little introduction to many of our listeners here in Antigua and Barbuda, but certainly he is a keen observer of political and social events, and he's also a public health specialist as well. So we, unfortunately, it appears as though Orin Gordon is not able to join us this morning, but that's okay. I think we're having a nice little soiree as it is. Her Excellency, there's a question from a listener who wants to know, have you ever had an audience with Her Majesty?
All High Commissioners are given the privilege of an audience. And so, your duty almost starts when that happens. So I would have met with Her Majesty for my audience with her. Just literally me and her in a room. And we had a chance to talk. And I think I shared in another media thing just earlier this morning that what's a couple of things struck me. One, how at ease she made me feel, because no matter who you are, I think there's something about walking into these halls with all of these plush carpets and so on, and going into this room, and there's someone who you've only seen on TV since a little child standing in front of you, extending her hand to you. And so, yes, she made me feel at ease. She was very well briefed, or at least very knowledgeable about Antigua. She'd been a couple of times, so she obviously knew that. She knew that we had just gotten, for example, World Heritage status for Nelson's Dockyard, and we spoke at length about that and about her time there, and also about some other topical issues at the time. But I felt a warmth, I felt an interest, and what should have been, a 10-minute, 15-minute audience. I spent about half an hour with her, and we had a really, really good chat. And I think there's a photograph somewhere of it, but I've never sort of exposed it. But certainly, yes, I've had an audience with her, and I've been to many receptions and events where she has been, and so have had the chance to be in her company quite a few times.
Okay. Arvel, you have a question or something you want to share?
No, just the fact that we are where we are, and I completely agree with the gentle lady's observations about allowing a child's time to grieve. He certainly is going to have to manage his way through his beliefs versus his responsibilities as monarch. I like where he's headed, though. I enjoy the fact that he's firmly in support of things environmental. It's a safe place to be, whether or not you're king. And I look forward to seeing how he navigates those issues.
Right. And one of the things that he shared when he commented at the ceremony to celebrate Barbados becoming a republic, there appeared to be a tacit acknowledgement that there have been historic wrongs. And that's something that, the now former Queen Elizabeth II perhaps didn't address in ways that perhaps people might want. But he certainly appeared to acknowledge that, this is an issue that he knows Bajans, and I guess by extension, West Indian nationals are very concerned about. Arvel, do you think that this is something that may become an issue or certainly a conversation that may improve with the new monarch, do you think? What's your assessment? I don't know if I want to ask Her Excellency that particular question, so I'm putting the question to you.
Well, I tell you, I preface my comment with this. I was very impressed when I read somewhere a week or two ago that he actually edited this month's edition of The Voice, which is, I believe, Britain's only black newspaper, or one of a few now. And he took and accepted the invitation to edit and made quite public the fact that he edited this month's edition. That's a statement in and of itself. The king is clearly someone who is closer to the ground in many of these things than others of his predecessor. And I expect that he will find ways to telescope or otherwise represent the need for the British establishment to lurch a little closer to accepting some of the more difficult aspects of British history in the Caribbean. And I certainly have very strong views about those, but I really don't feel that I should be sharing them now. I'd just like to say that I expect that he seemed to think left of center, and that's going to be very helpful to the cause that Black people and people of color are interested in around the world.
Right, that's fair. Her Excellency, what do you think? I mean, aside from what we know, she served on the throne for 70 years. She was very dedicated to her country, and duty was paramount in everything she did, etc., etc. What do you believe, from your vantage point, will be her lasting legacy? We need to talk legacy, as we do in the passing of any world figure. What do you think her legacy will be on not just the United Kingdom, but by extension, members of the Commonwealth, or her realms, I think is the term that's used in the statement released by King Charles III. I have to get used to that, King Charles III. Yeah.
Well, that is such a powerful question, Darren. I've been thinking about that for the last 24 hours myself.
Mm.
And when I saw the procession of heads of state and former heads of state lining up just to share their sadness at seeing her loss, I thought that really must be a special gift, to have the ability to win over the hearts of so many different people from so many different generations, so many different countries, and have them unite in a way around what you represent, which is someone who has, we can't get away from it, really carried out her duty in a way that made them think that this is worth it. And I think we will see that. We saw that at the Jubilee this year, and how from all walks of life people came and camped out and were there, and in the coverage it got around the world. And her death is receiving that level of coverage. So I think her legacy is going to be, and perhaps one of the greatest things that Britain has in terms of why monarchy may have any relevance in the 21st century, is this ability that monarchy has to galvanize international support. That soft diplomacy side of things that monarchy represents, and so whether it's from the White House to the Kremlin to the Bundestag, there's been everyone just reaching out to say that they're saddened. And it's not just the little message of we're saddened someone's died and doing the obligatory thing. There's depth of feeling in a lot of these statements that come from around the world. And to me, that would be the enduring legacy, the impact she's had on so many lives for so long, without actually offending a lot of these leaders. She's any of those leaders, to be honest. They're always funded. That to me is a legacy. The impact of this solitary life on so many.
You know, Darren, in these matters, she is completely above suspicion, and I found it moving that the president of China and the president of the United States found themselves saying almost the same thing about this wonderful human being. Statement of human fact that difficult to refute.
Yeah. Even my friend Mr. Putin had some comments that, weren't too bad at all. I'm actually trying to pull it up. And just to share with you, someone just shared with me images of Queen Elizabeth when she was here in Antigua many moons ago, and vestige ceremonies and touring the village of Liberta and so on. Pretty interesting stuff here. This person has a treasure trove. Her Majesty in Liberta, and you actually see her greeting the crowds with her trademark white gloves. Yeah, I wish I could. I'll share them with you, Your Excellency, and Arvel later on, and I'll share it with Jade and Azem, of course. Jade and Azem.
Well,
and it's a somber morning, but I'm sure you have, you might.
Well, I am just thinking about the fact that in our lifetime we have seen the death of both heads of the monarchy. And just how that will impact us historically. We are also in a time where we won't see the reign of a female for at least the next 3 generations, based on the lineage. So that is very interesting to me.
Well, I think what we see though is the British political establishment, at least on the side of the conservative unionists, seem to be increasingly comfortable with the idea of women being prime ministers. 2 out of 4 in the last 7 years, their gold standard for prime ministerial leadership is
number 3.
Yes, but the point I'm making is their gold standard for prime ministerial leadership is really the late Margaret Thatcher. So there is, even though we won't necessarily see a queen on the throne for a number of years, my deep commitment to inclusive leadership at the level of prime ministerial governance suggests to me the United Kingdom is on a path that will even things out quite nicely anyway, and we should look forward to that.
Okay.
Can I say?
Yeah.
Go on.
Go ahead, Your Excellency. Carry on.
I was thinking about what Mr. Grant said and what the question Jade asked
No,
about.
Arvel is fine, Your Excellency.
Arvel. Well, that's fine. I appreciate that, Arvel. I appreciate that. And I was just thinking about what you said about what we've seen in our lifetime, and 70 years. And you think about the statement she made when she acceded to the throne that however long or short her life will be, it will be given to service. And many people have said at age 70, age 80, age 90, you well deserve the chance to sit back and put your feet up and enjoy the fruits of your labor, your grandchildren, whatever. But she has never done that. And I think to the very end, she literally meant what she said when she said it. She's one of the persons who means what she says and says what she means. If I could quote a bit of Lewis Carroll. But certainly, she to the very end, isn't it incredible that her last official act was to trigger the formalities for the 15th prime minister since she was queen of the United Kingdom. 15 prime ministers, Jade. And I don't know if any of us on this call will live to see 96, the way our world is going and the way we eat and all that sort of thing. But certainly, this is what service is about. And I think I know there's a time for everything in discussions, and there will be some who will have challenges with monarchy, and rightly so. That's their views. People have the right to their views. But when someone does something that is just right, give Jack his jacket, in my view. And if they've done a good job, and 1,000 Frenchmen are saying it, I don't think everyone can be wrong.
Yeah.
Job.
And just to cast our minds back to not so long ago, less than 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, the passing of her, yes, certainly less than 2 years ago, the passing of Prince Philip, who she referred to as her strength and stay. I believe that was her characterization of. And folks are saying, they're not surprised. It's sad, but they're not surprised because she misses Prince Philip. To what extent her reign was bolstered and it was made that much more impactful as a result of the support that she got from Prince Philip? If we may just tie that in there a little bit, because they are going to be reunited, I understand, when all this is said and done.
I don't know if Arvel wants to have the first go.
Yes, I think Arvel.
Okay. No, I'm really not an expert in things royal, but you got the impression from things written and things spoken that she kind of left a fair bit of the running of the quote unquote business side of things to her husband, and that gave her a lot more time to focus on service. If that's true, then certainly she should have missed him heavily. And I imagine if I lived with someone for 70 plus years almost and they passed, I would miss them badly. And I can't imagine she didn't miss him.
Yeah.
But he must have Arvel and Darren and Jaden has been very supportive to this man. But by all accounts, Philip was a man's man, if you're allowed to say these words in this age. He was very athletic, very good at cricket, very very good at horse riding, all these things. Very much man's man. And one day, this was never to be. The abdication of Queen Elizabeth's uncle thrust her father into a role that he didn't think he'd ever be in, and then eventually passed on to her. And yet, he must have been supportive, because she was able to carry out her duty until he died with such distinction. And that's why she used the words, I believe, my strength and stay. I think one aspect of hers that I'm particularly fond of is her faith and the fact that she did not shy away from the fact that she was a person of tremendous faith, which is unfashionable in many respects in some quarters to even say that a person is a person of faith, but she was. And in all of her Christmas messages, if people listened to them, there was always a reference to that faith. And I remember listening to one of a chaplain who was her chaplain speak to her daily devotional regime and so on, that this was a person who felt a connection to the Almighty in a very special and real way. That was not just a ceremonial thing, but actually a personal thing. And I think as much as Prince Philip might have been her state and support over the years, I think her faith in the Almighty guided her a lot in her decision making and interactions.
Mm-hmm. Anything special or anything in particular happening in St. Kitts, Nevis, Jade, Azam?
Well, I saw that they lowered the flags at the waterfront in Nevis. I'm not too sure what is happening in St. Kitts, however.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I suspect that we will.
It's one of the 8 realms left in the English-speaking Caribbean. So I would imagine there will be some activities around there. I also expect that across these 8 countries that are part of the realm, that there will be activities over the next 10 days that perhaps will not be so reflected in those republics. But generally speaking, my hope is that the Caribbean will give due deference to the passing of the lady, Her Excellency, and I certainly look forward to seeing what King Charles III does with us going forward.
Who apparently has just arrived at a military base in London. So he's left Scotland, Balmoral, and he's now in London. I just got a tweet about that. Just as we look to wrap up our discussion, is it expected that governors general throughout the Caribbean, or certainly Antigua and Barbuda and St. Kitts and so on, are expected to be at the funeral of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II?
Well, I believe invitations will be extended, certainly. And I haven't spoken to Sir Rodney, so I don't wish to speak for Government House in this matter. But given the sort of momentous nature of this event, I know all the governors general, for the most part, attended the Jubilee events. And so I would imagine that it would be in order that the respect is shown in this way as well.
Right, certainly understand. And of course, I expect that you will be there.
Yes. This duty would require that I be there. Yes.
All right. Jade and Azam, you have a final question for Her Excellency?
No, I think we both just been very reflective. Of course, this would have been the only monarch that I know in my lifetime.
Same.
And it's definitely a huge shift that's happening. We spoke a bit about some of the things that we can expect in terms of changing of the money and some of the terms now being changed. Queen Council, is it going to be King Council, and these types of things. So the impact I think we can't even fully fathom, because it's just been so much the way of things for so long. But
and Darren, we'll see a coronation and hopefully in our lifetime if we live to see it. So I know I think after the Queen's father died, it was over a year before there was a coronation, so it's not expected to be right away. But in our lifetime, we would have lived to see if God so allows someone reign for 70 years, and that's a heck of a long time. And a coronation, which are all historic and interesting. I think they'll have to dust off some old protocols, Darren, to remember how these things are done.
But if it's one thing, I give the Brits, yes. When it comes to protocol and pomp and circumstance, I don't know anyone who does it better.
Absolutely.
The preservation of tradition.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, we're gonna leave the discussion. We gotta leave the discussion there. I'm sure Her Excellency has to go, and I don't know if you have any more interviews, but I certainly am sure you have tasks to perform this this Friday, solemn Friday, actually. And Arvel, I want to thank you so much for carving out some time as well out of your schedule and spending some time with us here on the Regional Link Up. And
yes.
And
I'll do that for Observer anytime. So
yes, thank you, sir. And certainly enough thanks to Jade and Azem for, of course, providing the platform, their Zoom platform, and allowing us to be a part and sharing this discussion with my brothers and sisters and friends in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Anytime.
This is the most somber I've seen you and Azem, but I suppose it's fitting for the conversation we're having. Thank you so much. And Your Excellency, I am very grateful for your time as well. Absolutely.
Thank you, Darren.
for
Anytime.
sharing.
All the best,
Okay.
everyone. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. So that just about does it for Observer AM.
Rigid, I'm suspecting that we will get some sort of a statement from the Governor General, and perhaps that may outline exactly some of what we can expect or what has been triggered based on the passing of the Queen. So I'm curious to see what that looks like.
It has been a very wild life for us. I mean, in my 30 years, I've seen so many things that I could have never dreamed to see, from wars to outbreaks to the monarchy's demise, the heads of the monarchies anyway. So I
feel like-
don't know what else
you
to
know what,
expect.
I feel
You know
like-
what's missing? You know the last thing we haven't seen?
If it's something bad, don't you say it, Jake? I'm afraid,
I
yeah.
don't know if it's bad, but
I'm afraid you're bad now, yeah.
why? As in, I did not kill the queen. Let's start there. That was not my doing. Okay? That was definitely not my doing. So, but I think the only thing that we have not seen in our lifetime is an alien invasion.
Jade, we've seen that.
Invasion, not them.
Not them just kind of hanging out and seeing what going
Yeah,
on.
not them actually telling us that what we've thought for all these years is true.
Jade, we ain't ready,
And
for
actual-
we ain't ready for the
We
invasion.
weren't ready for nothing, but it's happening. I am wearing green. It's forest green. Today is the day for us to wear green.
National color day.
Yes, so
It's nice velvet.
it is a nice velvet material, but it is green.
But yeah, Jade, I think in our lifetime we would have experienced, and this is something that it's a conversation I've had with like my grandfather and thing. It just seems like there's so much life being lived so much quicker, sorry. Like for instance, me and my grandfather see pretty much almost the same amount of hurricanes.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, see, almost the same amount of hurricanes. Like, it's there's a lot seemingly happening so much quicker. I mean, even in terms of people transitioning who would have made very notable impacts in whatever discipline or field that they were involved in. You know, the transition of greats like Muhammad Ali, Kobe, and stuff like
I'd
this.
say this
There's
lifetime has
a
been...
there's a lot happening, Jay.
This lifetime has been
You mentioned the
too
pandemic.
busy.
You mentioned the pandemic.
the releasing that. Yes, aliens actually do exist. Oh my gosh. Just having to sit and think about all of these things. It is so much. It is so much.
Yeah, there's a lot that is happening
And we young
very
still.
very quickly.
So imagine all the other things that we still have to see. These stories for our children when they get older will be so unbelievable. Like, yes, when we were in our young days, they did release videos saying that aliens do exist. And yes, while we were in our young days, we had a pandemic, we had monkeypox, we had the return of some diseases that we thought we have had eradicated.
We live in a very interesting time in Nigeria. You know what I see? You know what I see? You know what I saw, sorry, yesterday?
What?
Someone sent me a video of some young people who were introduced to the landline in their house. They didn't know it existed in their house.
Are we that old?
Jade,
That they don't know what a landline is?
Jade, a lot of children don't know what a landline is. Like they don't know.
Suppose they discovered dial-up. Suppose they discover how we had to use the internet before.
But they don't live in. They have never had a world where they didn't have access to the internet.
Yes, but how they had it was different to how we started with it.
Yeah, but that's what
They
I'm
had
saying.
Wi-Fi. We had to.
But I'm saying
we
we-
had to wait till somebody come off the phone to use the internet.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, but that's what I'm saying. We live in a world where we didn't have internet to begin with.
That's true.
Like,
What
so-
we had was what's that game? Pinball. We had pinball.
So, I mean, there's been a lot of development, and I believe that I don't see it slowing down. I think we've gotten to a point where
definitely not.
because of technology and where we are with technology, the innovations and the changes to society are going to become even faster and faster and faster and faster.
Yeah.
So I think as generations go forward, the generation, let's say the world that my grandchildren live in, gonna look so much different to the world that we're living in now, and their grandchildren won't recognize the world that their grandparents, that my grandchildren live in.
Honestly,
So
mind blowing.
Yeah, it's just kind of where we at.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about. Like if you actually sit down and just reflect on the things that we've seen or the things that we've experienced, it's actually crazy. It's a wonder we're still here. So I'm shocked we haven't ended this here world that we have just yet. But things are going to continue to develop and evolve. And
When do you think time travel gonna come by?
when you going? What you mean when? It done here as him?
Time travel?
Yeah, you haven't been paying attention, man. Look at some of the documentaries on YouTube, the good old YouTube. You might see some things or discover some very interesting things.
Well, let me put it this way. I wonder when.
They're going to tell us he exists?
I wonder when time travel started. Because, with time travel, people always say, we've started this conversation like where we'd go back to and want to see, but I don't think that's how it works. I think you could only time travel back to where time travel actually started. Because you only could go where a road is. You only could go to where there's a road.
I don't know when it started, honestly. But I've seen some quite interesting videos with people who seem to be very out of place for the time. So I don't know if that is an indication of what is happening or what is to come, but
yeah, we're just living in a matrix.
We're probably.
No, we're just living in a virtual reality.
Yeah. That's probably why things
shared consciousness, and we're just living in a virtual reality.
That's probably why things happen which seem very familiar. Why things that what we call it deja vu when a situation seems to have happened before we live in it again. The more times that happened to me.
The Mandela effect, Jade.
I don't believe what.
The Mandela effect.
Hold on, this ain't gonna happen. I'm sure this done happen. Because I remember it happening when it happened. I know it happening again. It's weird.
Yeah, the Mandela effect is real.
But that's just listen, we will never fully understand this here world that we live in and how things work. Again, if we literally sit down and think about how some things operate, it can blow your mind.
Well, you see, my thing is, I always feel like there's levels of understanding, right? And I think that what happens is we become so distracted with other things that we collectively, in some cases, forget. For instance, the pyramids, right? I think that the technology that was used to build pyramids, we just collectively lost it.
So it wasn't the slaves?
I don't... Like, Jade, it wasn't like just regular manpower. Like, it wasn't regular manpower to build the pyramids.
Husky cat and donkey cat.
It wasn't that they built ramps and miles and miles and ramps gotta be to what? No. It's lost knowledge. It's lost knowledge. And we know this to be the case because we see all the societies that existed thousands and thousands of years ago. We only know rediscovering the knowledge what they had all the time.
That is true.
But you see what happened is we know got so much things going on that
we can't sit and
we don't
on that one. That one is deemed as less significant than the grand scheme of our current life.
What do you feel? How would you? This is getting into somewhere deep-ish, but
that's
anyway.
Okay.
But what do you think about knowledge? Do you believe that you have all knowledge, or do you believe what's your views on acquiring knowledge? Do you believe that the knowledge exists within you, or do you believe that this knowledge comes from something outside on you?
I think a lot of things is learned. A lot of things we have to literally sit down and gather. It might have been in somebody, but it isn't in all of us. That's why we have to continue to learn daily. We don't know everything and we will never know everything, but there are some things that if we just take the time to try and learn, we will understand. Well, most of us will understand.
So let me put it this way then. When I was teaching, you know what? One of the thoughts that crossed my mind while I was teaching one time is that when I started teaching, I viewed what I was doing as giving the students something. But you don't actually give them anything. As a matter of fact, so much so that whatever is happening within that student, I have very little understanding about what it is. So I'm asked to teach the student, but really and truly, in any real tangible way, I ain't really doing anything. It's not like I put in something inside your head or anything like that, right? So the process of learning. So I went and started researching like what happens when somebody actually learns something, or what is happening while I'm teaching. So basically, what's happening is there's a rewiring of the synapses in your brain, right? Like there's literally electrical connections being made inside the person's like brain, right? So then my thing is, if it's just if it's just connecting things and bridging things from here to there and whatever, perhaps all the information is already in your brain. It's just that you need something to trigger it.
To unlock it. Do you believe in reincarnation?
I don't know. I don't think so. Like
I don't know. I feel like I don't. Well,
my
based on the things that we know, that I don't think that's impossible.
No. No. Especially if one believes in spirits. Like so it doesn't mean that a spirit has to inherit one physical body. Like I don't know if there's a rule. Like, I don't know of a rule about that. Like, hey, there's this spirit, and the spirit only enters this world one time.
I don't know, cause I feel like
even if you believe in consciousness and what consciousness is, as a matter of fact, if you believe in energy, and energy is not made or destroyed, it just moves from one state to another. Then
you could believe consciousness does this.
You believe consciousness is similar, and so could possibly move from one physical form to the next.
I think that helps us to redesign the world and push knowledge forward, because I don't believe that everything that everyone learns is from a book or from somebody giving them. I feel like some knowledge is from them being here before and seeing certain things and having certain experiences that they then pass on to the people that they meet when they come back.
Interact with?
Yeah.
Or it could just be like that what we know already. For instance, we know that at its base, DNA is information, and that information is passed from person to person to person, right? Within a specific genealogy or lineage. Sorry. So, could it be that all the information of our ancestors actually resides inside us? We just don't fully understand how to unlock it. And things like inspiration, things like memories, things. Cause for instance, especially children, sometimes it'll be like, Jade. We talking about spirits and you're just scared now, like what? We talking about spirits and you get jumpy?
Boy, your phone, twice a deep in thought, right? Your phone just... Listen, put that there silent, please, because I don't phone to vibrate so hard.
But so perhaps it is just that we are so distracted, or perhaps just so concerned with other things or unaware that we are unable to unlock the full potential that resides inside us.
And that's probably why a lot of people don't live or walk in their purpose, because it's already there, but discovering it takes you actually figuring it out. But because you're so distracted by everything else, you don't take the time to figure it out.
People aren't very self-aware to begin with, Jade.
No way, not at all.
People, even on a surface level, people are not very self-aware. You understand? Like, so, and it's obvious to me that, like I said, there's a lot of lost knowledge. There's a lot of lost knowledge. Like, you know those African prints big up Nama one time.
Mm-hmm.
But you
Wait,
know,
Nama is African.
no, you know, she does sell African clothing and so.
Yeah,
African
but you
things.
just make it sound like Nama is an African prince. Just a big up Nama. I'm the saying.
Yeah,
You know those African princesses.
No, not princesses, you know.
No, I know.
Prince.
You said you know those African princes, right?
Prince. That's what I meant.
Okay,
Prince.
you're not the African prince, but then you said big up Nama one
Yeah,
time.
because remember I went to Nama because she sell them.
They said that. Don't got people out there wondering if Nama is an African prince.
Not Prince, you know, Jade.
Oh,
Print.
Prince. Boys, I thought you mean Prince, like
like royalty.
royalty.
No, we stopped that.
Prince, P-R-I-N-T-S. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Because I'm like, why would you even say? My bad.
So, so like for instance, we'd see the African prince and thinking like, oh, these people just were creative and whatever, not recognizing that there was a physicist, a quantum physicist that examined some of the African prints and recognized that it was actually mathematical equations that explained like the solar system.
See, all of us saying that as him. Let's
So,
start there.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, so I feel like a lot of this information, like a lot of this knowledge, like we had persons thousands of years ago charting things, are explaining things that we only now beginning to scientifically understand, or let's say, based on our science, finally starting to line up with what we've been taught forever. Like for instance, right, you know, like you see these paintings that depict like early humans as like these light beings, and we just think like, oh, it was the aliens that came here.
It was aliens, man.
But people don't recognize that are we really just basically light and water here?
Bro, we are aliens. You cannot.
We just light and water.
But
like,
we are we saw self-absorbed, right? That we feel like everybody else from other country, other planets are aliens, but we
is aliens?
we normal. No. We just a different type of being, just like they are different types of beings. Like you don't think they call us aliens? We aliens to them. We are foreign beings that, well, they probably understand us because we're not very complex compared to.
No, but you see, even that to me is a mystic assumption.
You think we're not?
I believe to assume that we are somehow the lowest on the totem pole. Yeah.
Yes, bye.
So
now we make coffee and everything to the bottom.
So I don't know where on the scale we are, but I don't
think we're the lowest. I don't think we're the lowest.
I don't believe we're close to the end either.
No, I just think we're way less complex than we think we are compared to some higher beings. We can't flag on our asm. We can't even figure out how to not unalive ourselves on a daily basis.
But there are people who would suggest that we do. That we know how to, for instance, fly and things. Not physically fly, but let's say move between the different realms. So there are beings. So for instance, like we live on this 3D realm, right? So you have, for instance, like 2D, which is like if you were to draw something like on a paper, and like we operate in this particular realm. But the assertion is by some let's say let's just say beliefs. Some people believe that there are beings that operate, let's say, in the fourth realm. Apparently there's like 6 realms, right? So they're being, so those just like how we're able to look down on paper and view whatever is happening on that, they're able to look on us and what we're doing in a very similar fashion, but then move between the realms.
Well, honestly, if you believe in the Bible, you must believe in these things because according to some religious beliefs, people are able to move to different realms, see things before they happen, predict what's that word I'm looking for? Predict situations before predictions. Predict situations and figure out how to take information from the past or from the future and use it in our current climate. So we must believe these things. It's so much to think about, right? If you actually
I think what happens
sit down and reflect, it's a lot to think about.
I think what happens is that in order to continually move from one realm of understanding, it takes energy and time and effort. And I don't think a lot of people have that. I don't think a lot of people
But I know
have
people
the
dealing with
energy
debt
out.
and
Yeah.
depression and struggle and mental illness and all of these things. So these things ain't really on the top of
But the thing is, for
the
me, I
list.
don't think these are new developments.
No,
and,
they're
and,
not.
and I think, ironically, the reason why a lot of these things are so prevalent is because we don't take the time to continually acquire knowledge, discover purpose, be self-aware. So that's why a lot of these things are prevalent, because we allow so many things to distract us and take us away from who we are, that we don't take the time to build up ourselves into the best version of ourselves.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the ironic part about it.
Yeah, that's true.
And I do believe that perhaps there is, and then of course you get into the whole thought about the fact that there are those who, for whatever reason, prefer to have the populace not exploring these things, not seeking knowledge, not
Some
trying to
people
find
just comfortable in the little bubble, and that is just that.
Yeah,
They
but
just,
I don't know if that is the. I don't think that is the natural state of being.
no, I don't think so either.
Yeah, so I'm
but
saying is, if it's not the natural state of being, I mean, some persons or some entities would basically benefit from distracting us, and so that's what they do, and that's why so many people remain so distracted.
Yep.
So
Well, that was our little.
yeah, we went into a deep.
Yeah, we could.
Why not? Good morning, caller. You're live on LNT. What's up? Oh, lost that caller. But one person is trying to get back in. Good morning, caller. You're live on LNT. What's up?
Hi, good morning, Azim and Jade.
Morning.
You guys have gone into a realm here. How you normally touch on something, but you have gone into a realm which is above most of what our people know around here. And it's interesting because it's thought-provoking. Jade said something, a word. It's a word she used days ago. That might have come back into the Latin or the Greek or the Sanskrit language, ancient languages of back then. And that would have been used in magic potions. But yes, there is what we call reincarnation. Because how else can we explain, like, we have seen this before and it happened, it's like it's just refreshing our memory. Pertaining to the ancestral genetic memory bank, which all of us possess. Sometimes, freak storms comes our way internally, and it tends to, like there might be some lightning, and it tends to really disrupt the wiring in your genetic memory bank process. And because of that disruption, we tend to lose some of the things that our brain power, the capacity. So we only use 5% of our brains today, and the 95% is there to be tapped into. But we are told by our elders that the earth, anyone that is born on this earth, the earth keeps that memory. And as we eat purely from the earth, that memory comes slowly back to us as we eat, because the fruits and vegetables, the trees, the root goes deep, and it takes up the alkalinity, all of that protein, what you call protein, from deep within the earth, where the earth stores everything, and then as we eat, it brings back these things to our mind in a slow process, but it happens. So therefore, anyone that is born, there are gurus, there are elders, there are people that will tell you, Jason, and ask him, this is what you ate the very first thing after lactation, after your mother's breast milk. If you ate an apple, or if you had a little whip, a little sauce or whatever, they will tell you accurately, 100%, this is what you ate the very first thing that your mother whipped up a meal for you to eat. This is the thing that we have lost, and it is gradually coming back to us. And it all starts from the base of our sexual orientation. We have to reach the crown, where all the disruption with the spark of the wiring in our brains, that function that keeps the body in function. The brain is the capacity, and that brain has to be in sync with the genetic memory bank of you and also the earth. So when the individual loses it, it is not lost forever because the earth has it, and the earth will always store it. So here with it, we have to look back to the earth. So now that the earth is threatened by all these things, man-made things and disaster, that is what we are, human beings are threatened with, losing the earth and losing that memory bank that the earth stores forever and forever and forever. So when Jesus went down on the ground, and they say he was writing, when these people wanted an answer, what shall he do with this lady that has committed sin? When he wrote down on the ground, it brought me back, me knowing what my ancestors said and my elders said. It brought me back to see that Jesus even tapped into the earth energy. Yeah. So when we read in these religious books, it is there. It is there in these books for us now to know what our elders say and put it in sequence with the chronology of time and all things, because it was never lost to us. As far as the stars may seem, there are fireflies right amongst us that will always enlighten human beings' path.
Right.
So we will never get lost forever because salvation has already come to humanity. And however society come and want to disrupt things, it will never be lost. So we are here to tell the story. Thanks for listening.
I appreciate it. Thank you. That was deep.
Yep.
That was deep, Jade.
Yep. Extremely.
So let's come back from the cosmos and talk a bit about
The
what's
fireflies?
happening. And let's talk a bit about what's happening here locally. Auntie.
So our tourism minister provides updates on the tourism industry, predicts positive growth for winter season. Good things.
Good things.
Yeah, man. In her first press conference since becoming the minister responsible for tourism, international transport, civil aviation, urban development, employment and labor, the Honorable Marsha Henderson presented the general public with an update on the state of the tourism industry in the Federation.
Marsha.
The key approach to staying competitive is to diversify the tourism product and services offered. The diversification of our experiences will require intense collaboration with our local sectors, such as agriculture and sports. We cannot look at our product offerings the same way we did 2 years ago. Our visitors want to see and feel an authentic St. Kitts where they can engage with us and not simply be observers, said the tourism minister during the September 8th press conference. CEO of the St. Kitts Tourism Authority, Ellison Tommy Thompson, Mr. T, said the internal discussions are being had about what the SKTA, in conjunction with the private sector, can do that to help diversify the tourism product to include the authentic Kittitian experience. The CEO explained further what innovation means regarding diversifying the tourism product. He said, I think that is where we want to concentrate on how we can put together a program or an experience where that comes to life, and that also brings in the aspect of community-based tourism, where we able, I think that's supposed to say, where we are able then to get the community involved in what we're doing. The idea is for us to generate new experiences, but also make sure that the wealth from tourism is generated through the economy and to the more rural areas in terms of that.
Well, I mean, there was a lot happening at the press conference yesterday, and some of it, I think, is very good because we always want to see the linkages between tourism and some of the other areas, not only the sun, the sand,
And the sea,
but also our like the minister mentioned, the sports, our agriculture, our culture. These are things that people move around the world to interact with, to digest, to learn about. So our environment, the rainforest, we have one of the only expanding rainforests in the world. So I think these are some of the things that we have to really start marketing. I'm happy to hear that's the direction we're going into. I was actually even more happy to hear her speak about the improvements that are to come within the month up at the air and seaports, including the
AC?
The AC and
She said that? She mentioned
she mentioned the
Praise
AC.
the Lord.
She also mentioned the resurfacing of the tarmac, because I think that seems to be one of the reasons why the planes park so far away from the terminal. I was thinking that perhaps a bus could be on the way, because especially when it's raining, that still becomes an issue. So I know there's a bus there now, I think, but I think it's like a regular bus. So if you have a plane of 100 and something people, and you're taking, let's say, 8 at a time, then you realize that might be a little bit of some time. But
I just look forward to see what they'll come up with for the upcoming season.
Yeah, I think but there's a couple of things happening in tourism, right? So we have a new minister, but at the same time we also have the new CEO.
Everybody fresh.
Yeah, and of course we also saw an announcement that past Minister of Tourism, Vicky Skerritt, was brought back on as an advisor. So
yes, we also saw that one.
So
maybe we could get him on to talk to us.
Yeah, I think that we have, as a country, built up a lot of cachet as it relates to tourism around the region. Remember, we've been winning awards for all sorts of things even before election. The past minister was voted like the best tourism minister in the region.
We literally just won another award for our what is it, diving?
For the diving, yeah.
Yeah, so we got some weight to throw around, man.
Yeah, so I think we're in a position now where we could really continue to build on, but I think those linkages are going to be very important.
Definitely. But again, I look forward to seeing what they will do with our positioning in the upcoming tourism season, and hopefully it extends past just the cruise ship season. And
well, I mean, to be honest though, Jade, I think I think we need to also recognize that the ships and so that come in next season, them things done, it's like 3 years in advance, them things done planned.
That's true.
Right? So the negotiations that we have in now in terms of especially cruise, a lot of that has already been done by the previous administration. That's why I'm very curious to see the push into some of these new areas, ecotourism, sports tourism, cultural tourism, being able to export our culture outside of the Federation to some of these other places to attract people back to the island.
Definitely.
Like some of the other Caribbean countries doing. Hint, hint. Hint, hint.
Remember, we need flights before we could do all of that.
And what can they plane them?
Yeah, that's...
What can they plane them and the flights?
Priority. We need planes to be able to fly here for us to do all of these things that we want to implement.
Oh, boy. Imagine that, huh?
Yeah. Anyway, let's take a break and then we'll come back with more Island Tea. Right here on With Media SKN. Stick and stay.
Charge up with turbo energy, we want kickstart and a workout. Pour some in a mine and in a year cup. We're going up and up and up. 1 cup and me charge up turbo, me want no time for talk. Pour some in a my cup and get me energy up. Original flavor, me drinking, mixing with the ginseng. We no lose turbo, me for win. Cause a turbo, me say me ever ready, never did it. The greatest, next level energy, it's legendary. Pass up, turbo we drink and charge up. 1 cup and me gone up, me charge up with turbo energy drink.
Cool. Energize your goals with Lucasade. Get it cool. Look under the cap, find the code, win it. Thousands in prizes, iPhones and TVs. Or win 30 grand US dollars for your goals. That's goals.
chance to win $30,000. Purchase any Lucozade Energy promo bottle. Look under the cap and find the code to win iPhones, TVs, and free Lucozade or $30,000 to energize your goals. See website, social media, or press for details. Lucozade, taste the energy.
Don't stop, won't stop, can't stop the never-ending cashback at Horsewoods. Yes, it's that time of the year. Double cashback coupon season is here. The season when Horsewoods Furniture and Appliances gives away millions in free groceries with every FlexPay purchase and a chance to win 1 year in free groceries with a never-ending double cashback. Yes, the Horsewoods never-ending double cashback is back for even more free groceries. This is double cashback coupon season, so come today and get double cashback coupons for absolutely free groceries in the never-ending double cashback promotion. Yes, happening now. Get double cashback coupons for absolutely free groceries with every higher purchase. The never-ending double cashback is back at Horsewoods Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store, where you get double cashback coupons for free groceries with every FlexPay purchase. Don't stop, won't stop, can't stop the never-ending savings, never-ending discounts, never-ending quality and service, and the never-ending double cashback for this double cashback coupon season. Don't miss it. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Hey guys, welcome back to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. It's Friday.
Indeed. And happy birthday
To who?
to my brother from another mother,
Who that?
Mr. Malavai Harris.
Mally.
Yeah, man.
Pick up yourself, Mally.
Listen, you know how much people born in September?
Yes, Jade.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yes. Jade. People can't done. I'm telling you. But yeah, Mally, big up yourself on your birthday. And yeah, man, enjoy it to the max. You have a nice weekend coming up, and then and then your own birthday party next week.
I'm telling you.
Everybody celebrate.
Boy, oh yes, next week is going to be busy. But let's continue on with some tea. The Sugar Mass 51 dates have been revealed.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. So the St. Kitts Nevis National Carnival Committee has announced the dates for Sugar Mass 51. Chairperson Shannon Harley stated that the month-long festivities will commence on Friday, December 2nd, 2022, and conclude on Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023, with the announcements of winners and the last lap parade through the streets of Bastille. Wow. Last lap, boy.
I hear about that at the time.
I'm telling you, I vaguely remember them things happening, eh?
Yeah,
I remember when there was
last
a... Yeah. Okay. During the carnival period, all major events will be staged, including the National Carnival Pageant, Panorama, Soca and Calypso Monarch, Juve, Junior Parade, and Grand Parade. In addition, major events hosted by private promoters will also return to the Sugar Mass calendar after a 2-year hiatus. Yeah, I see them post one of my flyers them down my class night. I feel big, see?
Mm-hmm.
On the big stage, yes.
Boom bang.
Yeah, I go look for the top half bunch flyer and like it just because I made it. The calendar of events will be released in the near future after a series of planned stakeholder meetings during the month of September. These fora are designed to provide information and solicit suggestions from regular participants and new entrants in all aspects of the annual festival. The return of Juve and the Grand Parade are highly anticipated, and many Grand Parade mass and Juve troops have already indicated their participation. The SKNCC's chairperson, Shannon Hawley, has to date met on several occasions with the new Minister of Culture, Honorable Samuel Duggins, who has pledged his full support for the end of year celebration. The National Carnival Executive Committee will be revealed shortly. Sugar Mass is the country's premier cultural festival, and participation is encouraged by all nationals and residents of the Federation. Registration for all stakeholders end today, actually, and could be done online at skncarnival.com or in person at the SKNCC's office in the E.C. Daniel building on Keon Street. So guys, if you want to be a part of this year's carnival, today is the last day for you to register. Take full before the pandemic.
Yeah, some people really looking forward to that. And everybody kind of have their thing that they kind of look forward to. Some people look forward to the pageants. Some people look forward to the competitions. Calypso, soca, and of course road activities.
Oh yes, some people look forward to the fetes,
so
brunches, whatever events that they are having from the private promoters, which fill up the calendar and keep you guys busy, especially people who are coming just for vacation, just for that carnival time.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see. Well, if they get the flights themselves out, we're gonna see. Yeah, we're gonna see. Let me see what it looks like now. For the flights get in here them times.
Well, while you look that up, let's jump over to our sister island, Antigua.
Hey, if it wasn't for the Queen, we'd have got some questions for them, you know. We'd have got some questions. We'd have got some questions today
Because, boy, what happening over there?
Wow. Crazy. Tell the people, Jane.
So, who's this? Sorry. So, a double... Oh, Lord. It threw me off.
My bad.
Okay, so yes, there was a double murder that happened yesterday, and the victims were managers at Royalton, Antigua. So it says one person is allegedly in custody, assisting the police with investigations into what appears to be a double murder at a Pillar Rock residence on Wednesday, September 7th. News quickly went into circulation late that night after the body of a Mexican man was found in the pool shortly after 9:30 p.m. The man reportedly had what appeared to be a gunshot wound to the head. However, the police are reporting that he also had multiple gunshot wounds to his body. In a press release, the police said that a search was mounted for another male who was discovered missing at around the same time. However, a body found floating in the pool early Thursday, September 8th, is believed to be that person. A source claims the pool is very deep and that is why investigators might have missed the second body, which also bore multiple gunshot wounds. Reports say the sound of gunshots had been heard by a police officer working at the Royalton Antigua Resort, where the slain men had held the position of human resources manager and accounting manager, respectively.
So there were some Mexican guys who were managers at the hotel. Those are the stuff. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they were both found riddled with bullets.
In the pool?
In the pool. This is all like something off of Netflix.
Yeah, that is Netflix.
Very Narcos-like. This is very Narcos-like, I'm not going to lie. Very, very Narcos-like. And
of course, nobody's none.
No, of course. Cameras? What's that?
You know, hotel?
What
Come
is
on.
that? Come on.
They don't have cameras in hotels. Come on, Jade.
Out of order to even think that if two Mexicans were suspiciously killed, that they will have any... Well, let's say I got somebody in custody helping with the investigation. So...
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
But yeah, this sounds suspicious.
No, it ain't sound suspicious. It is. I mean, you have these two men found in the pool. Gunshot is obviously foul play. And these things cause serious questions, because when you have these islands and you have tourism being a big part of it, and these things happening at hotels and stuff like that. These things have far-reaching consequences there, Jade.
Mm-hmm.
These things have far-reaching consequences outside of just I wonder what was going on and talk and speculation.
Mm-hmm.
But
Antigua always got something going on, boy. That's one busy country. We just watch Jamaica a lot and say they're busy. Yeah, but lucky, Antigua busy too, you know.
Right there.
Yeah, man.
Right there.
All kind of suspicious.
Antigua was one of the places where they had the hair situation too, right?
Which hair situation? Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I saw that one of our teachers from Nevis, or let me see. I don't want to misquote. But somebody was saying that we need to look at that situation closely.
I actually saw that the government of St. Lucia said that they were looking at it closely and were probably going to legislate to ensure that it doesn't happen again.
But yeah, so a Need Vision educator suggests that we shift the focus from restriction to entrepreneurship.
I was thinking this. I don't know. I haven't read the article.
So you're thinking the exact same thing as him.
Yeah, but no, because one of the questions that it's like we keep telling children things like, oh, you know, you could become a hairdresser, you could all these things, but then in school there's no room to develop to even celebrate the skills that you would need coming out of school.
Well,
anyway, go ahead.
Vision educator Dr. Andrea Busu, has joined the conversation, saying not only are the rules discriminatory, such as no wearing of wigs or weaves, but they are also downright ridiculous. Ridiculous. Dr. Basu, in a Facebook post on Thursday, suggested that schools should shift the focus from restriction to entrepreneurship. She said, have these teachers or principals ever thought of building a program or opening up beauty shops and barber shops on high school campuses? Teach our children basic life skills so that they can survive when the economy takes a nosedive. What about encouraging students who can to grow their hair, cut it and donate it to organizations like Locks of Love, which manage wigs for children and adults who have suffered hair loss caused by cancer or alopecia? I like the way this woman thinks. She seems like she got more sense right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's
crazy that she actually has to say it, and
No, but Jade, you see that, and that's the problem I keep saying with these education systems. The fact that they weren't created to promote entrepreneurship in the first place.
Nope.
They were created to enable school leavers to go into into some of these industrial plants and places and fit into either top management, middle management, laborers, so forth and so forth and so forth. And so a lot of what we do still follows those trends, right? And so, yeah, entrepreneur. What's that?
Not the thing that y'all encourage falsely. Not the thing that y'all don't assist with, but tell people, yes, go be an entrepreneur. But when you go to them for a little grant, we really got to get right now.
No, but Jade, entrepreneurship by its nature requires innovative thinking, critical thinking, the ability to take risk.
Boy,
right?
I like those things, boy.
The ability to take risk. The problem is, out of those things that I just mentioned, and the list is exhaustive, the schools literally, stifle those things.
This school does suck all the creativity out of these children. It's like, there's a video that I've seen several times where kids, and I think it's kids, enter into a school or a place, and they're full of life and color and all of these things. By the time they leave, everybody grey. They don't suck all the good things out of these kids, all the spirit, the hope. They want to be innovative and creative. They don't suck and stifle that out of the kids them.
Innovation and creativity is stifled at the school level, Jade.
Yeah, boy.
And you're taught to to not take calculated risk.
They teach you to fit in and not stand out and stay quiet and it's so terrible.
Yeah.
So terrible. I don't even know how we survive as creatives. It's probably because I didn't like school, you know.
No, Jade. I think
probably because I didn't like school.
I think for some of us, we managed to have outlets outside of school that was able to maintain the creative spark. So
for some of us,
for some of us.
Not me. I had to rediscover mine after school.
Yeah.
It happens.
Sometimes there's a teacher. Sometimes there's a teacher that may not fully subscribe to the same mindset that some of the other teachers think, and you gravitate towards those teachers. I had teachers like that. I had teachers who, till this day, some of the things that they taught me, I still carry with me daily. Very much a big part of my character and persona and things like that. So sometimes you get teachers that operate sometimes out of the system, and sometimes those teachers get a lot of flack for it. But there's actual care there, and because of that care, they operate in a certain way.
I had a teacher recently ask me if I like talk so much still. I said, boy, she ain't even know what I do for a living. She don't even know that I get paid to talk now.
Imagine that, eh?
Imagine that.
Wow.
From talking in class for free to talking on the radio. Maybe I already had my vision mapped out and I didn't even recognize it.
Yeah.
See, they try to suck it out of me. But y'all did not win. Y'all tried to stifle my voice. And now it's even louder.
Yeah. I wonder how many of you of my teachers who look and be like, yeah, no, this is what I was gonna be doing.
Not mine. Not mine at all. All I wanted me to do is hush.
When I said this, I'm not talking specifically about like win, but some of the other things I've been involved in. Probably not.
No, I don't think any of my teachers saw this.
Even though I do believe that teachers do have the ability to sense talent and to sense personality, charisma, these things in kids. You can't avoid it. You can't avoid it sometimes. I have taught children, and I know for a fact that like you can do something special.
Yeah,
in your
man.
life.
Like for instance, one time I went to a school visit down at Sandy Point, and one of the people that was in the class is like I could tell he would have been. I could have just tell he was gonna be an entertainer. I can't remember his name, but he plays with Extortion. From St. Paul's, he sounds just like Sparry.
Okay.
But I could tell just meeting him in that class that what he doing now is what he was going to be doing. So, yes, we recognize it. So I think for me, people recognized it in me as an adult. One person in particular, shout out to Shazette. She was one of the only people that I can say that recognized that there were certain things in me that would have put me in a position that I am in now. She says it all the time. Like she recognized from the time she met me that some of the things that I'm involved in now would have come to fruition just based off.
It makes sense. Like it makes sense.
But let's jump over to Jamaica.
Antigua to Jamaica? We know you're trying, Jade.
Well, it's not Jamaica per se.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not Jamaica per se. But an arrest warrant forces Sandeep Lamikane to leave Talawa squad.
Wow. A what?
Yeah.
A what forced him?
A warrant, an arrest warrant to be exact. So Sandeep Lamikane had been removed from the Jamaica Talawa squad.
The ball press charges? For all the abuse?
It wasn't the ball of the bat.
Wow.
No.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, very unfortunate. But so I go sometimes. Yes, he has been removed from the Jamaica Talawa squad following the issuance of an arrest warrant in his native country, Nepal.
Wow.
The man says, send him that. Yeah. Take care of the team.
That's some questions to answer to, man.
Yeah. A statement issued by the Caribbean Premier League stated that Lamikane will take no further part in the tournament this year. I mean, he do something real bad.
Allah, though.
Lamikane has not featured in any of the 3 games for the tournament.
That is why they sent him home. If it was another star, I was waiting for the party. I was waiting for
No,
the
but
part.
say, he know they serve with a purpose. Take you on the bench.
I was waiting for the part. It was a big star. They say, well, you know,
Bye.
we anticipate that when he gets back to his country, he will face whatever charges.
Right now, he busy.
Right now, he busy. No.
But your partner don't do nothing but run on the field and get water.
Partner is the
He
bench.
go home.
Partner is the support staff.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Sorry.
They run him. Bye, wrong, bye. Come on.
They had to add the part. As
No,
well.
but we know. I tell you, I was waiting for the part.
No, but say, hey, feature none of the three.
I was waiting for the part.
In any of the 3 games for the Talawas so far in the 2022 season, sorry. According to the report on Thursday, he was suspended by the Cricket Association of Nepal over an alleged case of coercion of another person.
Come on.
It was revealed that a complaint against him was lodged in a Kathmandu police station. A statement released by Acting Secretary of the Cricket Association of Nepal, Vikram Malla, said Lamikan's suspension will remain in place pending the outcome of the investigation. The 22-year-old is one of Nepal's most high-profile cricketers. They care about that. Whatever he do, he got to be well bad because
Coercion, Jade, come on.
what I mean? Like he coercion of who? What type of coercion?
I mean, it could run the gamut of things.
That's why I was like, give me a little more info, no? Because this could mean a lot of things. But then really...
You can go back here and tell them, man, hey, watch you, not guilty. The man could have let the man finish out the cricket thing, man.
Finish it out on the bench, yes. The people them need water and them kind of stuff to keep hydrated. The stars them need to be hydrated. Yeah, the man has served a very important purpose, you know. You might not think so, but he serves a very vital purpose.
No, you don't think so. You're talking about the man giving water, I think.
Based on the fact. As him, may never you know, right?
The benchman them purpose and the bench ain't to give water to the people.
But that is what they do. It might not be their purpose. But currently, that is their job. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes.
Because I give somebody water don't mean that's what I'm here for.
May say that's what they're there for either.
You say it's the job.
Currently?
No.
Okay.
Wow. Their job is to help the team prepare. They're part of the preparation process.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure with
they're
performance...
also a part of the hydration process. I don't know why you keep missing this out. They're literally a part of the hydration process as him.
Wow.
From what I've seen.
Wow. Big up to all the bench warmers. Hey, as a
hey.
man.
The funniest bench warmer that I've ever met, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember which team he was for. I think it was the Jamaica Talawas though. But there's this dude, I don't know if he's on the team this year. But last year, he was on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And he clearly was on the team before because everybody knew that he was one person that every single year he did the same thing.
And what was that?
Run water to the team.
Run water to the team.
He got 1 game
Waterman.
every season just because it is a rule
That you have to play.
that you have to play.
Yeah.
And because of this rule.
Can't guy just the waterman.
Yeah.
You have
And he
people
was
for
the
that.
owner, nephew, eh?
Oh, come on, Jay. Come on. Come on.
Boy, I could tell you nothing. This man used to behave like the biggest cricket star.
Don't.
And when they explained to me, I said, no, you're lying. Why are you lying
Come
on
on,
this
Jay.
man?
This is the owner nephew, man. Come on.
Boy, him used to milk that position, boy.
Come on, of
I
course.
tell you, the man used to behave like he is the great on the team.
What happened is the owner just recognized his potential.
Then why he don't play him?
He did. At
More
least
than-
once. At least once.
At a minimum.
Well, he develops his skill.
Mm.
You know, you give him a little exposure to the game. You know, that's
Yeah,
all.
man.
That's
Yeah,
all, Jay.
man. The man was properly trained in the art of running water today. The player, properly trained.
Had a lot of experience.
Listen, on paper, he probably ranked the highest. On paper.
Yo, black people are wicked, boy. Terrible.
Oh, man, I me, huh? Oh, we terrible. I just going based on my observations. And that is the one thing I surely observed.
Huh. Wow. Jade, what your weekend looking like?
I was just about to say I'm going to be home with my son, but that's not true. He's going to his daddy and his granny to stress them out and give everybody hugs and kisses and all the love that a toddler can give you.
Yeah, big up Jade one time.
Yeah, man. World's greatest toddler, in my opinion. And I might be biased.
You might be a little biased, but
that's okay.
You're allowed to do that.
Yeah, man. You want to see his pictures from this morning in he green?
In he green? Oh, yes.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah. You had him in green.
Yeah.
Let me see what's going on here.
Look at this face, Azim. Look at this face.
I like the pose, though.
Yeah, but I had to give him a pep talk. Had to convince him why he should pose for mommy.
You know, the man ain't really a picture man, eh?
No, he ain't in that.
Yeah. Man after my own heart.
Yeah.
I don't tell you, I can't really trust man who just take a lot of selfies, yeah.
Something wrong with them?
That they just don't sit right with me. If you're a man and all it, and like daily you're taking selfies, you might need to go see somebody. You might need to sit down and have a talk with somebody. It's a red flag. It's a red flag. But yeah, but seriously though, what are you doing with your weekend?
Oh, I'm just going to do some work. I have some Clifton things to do.
Right.
Yeah, but guys, if you see a Nivik bottle, if you have a Nivik at home, take a picture and send it to me. You may be featured on our social media page.
Oh, wow. Okay.
With your nice little blue bottle. Yeah. Them kind of things.
Okay. So basically what?
Yeah, this is going to be a working weekend for me.
That's what she said now, guys. And then we'll come back here on Monday and be like, Jade, how was the weekend?
No. I'm saving all my strength for next week. Next week, packed, Azim.
Yeah, right.
Remember next weekend we have Belle Pastel.
Right.
Independence. Right. National Heroes Day.
Yeah.
Tropics.
Next weekend is Tropics?
Next weekend is Tropics.
Wow.
We still have Boozy Bunch. Tropics is the 18th. Belle Pastel is the 16th.
Right.
Boozy Bunch is the 17th. National Heroes Day is the 16th as well, and Independence is the 19th. Busy weekend.
So wait, hold on. So wait, next week is one of the long weekends too, because Friday is a holiday then, right? Then we have Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday is the holiday again.
I call Monday the day to catch myself.
Oh, Monday is recuperation day.
You better believe it. Monday is definitely recuperation day for me. I have to honestly, I have some flyers to create for some people.
You have some videos to send me to?
I have a video to create for you. You are first on my list. So today I will deal with your video because time is fast approaching and I don't want to disappoint. I've actually had the templates for this video a while. It's just for me to figure out how to put these in a way that Azem will like. So I have a working weekend this weekend.
You could just do multiple videos.
If I have multiple time. Because people don't cuss me for the flyers, eh?
Yeah,
but I only post me top off bunch flyer. Somebody don't remind me, or me a flyer. I'm like, can I celebrate myself, please? Without me being attacked?
I know people.
My word.
I know people operating.
This is what you're supposed to tell people what you could do, Let's not to get aggressive with you.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that people really enjoy this weekend.
Me too.
Take time, get some rest.
Is there anything happening this weekend? Probably,
Probably.
There's something happening every weekend. Every single weekend. But I just don't know what's happening this weekend, what events is going to be happening. I'm sure we'll see. But at this very moment, I can't say what it is that is happening. But whatever it is, guys, do it safely, have fun, be kind to your fellow man.
Yeah, deal with people with love and grace, guys. And empathy. Let's get some empathy going, please.
Freedom Gala. Thank you.
Yes, Freedom Gala is this weekend, the 10th. That's tomorrow.
We have to say a very special congratulations to our brethren in the radio industry, Freedom FM. Freedom is a man or a woman. I feel like Freedom strong, so it might be a man. Give me what like sister or brother station.
Okay. I didn't understand what you were saying.
Sorry. Our brother station, Freedom, celebrating how many years?
I think it's 12,
My God. Freedom is a restaurant. Good morning to my friend. My friend there, Mr. Real Right. He said freedom is a Rasta man.
I could see that.
I could see that too.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. That makes sense.
I'm looking forward to seeing him in his suit tomorrow with a nice bag. Especially the bag. Because you can't touch your bag game, eh?
No, he can bag game on a different level.
Definitely buy.
I just admire you, check.
Yeah, man.
Actually, he may pull out a coach tomorrow, who knows?
Too easy.
You can pick up yourself. But yeah, guys, I'm really hoping that you guys enjoy this weekend. Take some time to rest, spend some time with your loved ones. Because we know next week y'all ain't spending time with them.
No, they're going to party with them. What do you mean they're spending no time with them? They're partying with them.
That ain't happening, Jade.
The party with the loved ones, the friends and the loved ones.
No, you're talking family, Jade. Family.
Oh, the family, friends could be family.
I need to go see our children this week. I know I see them next week.
Go see them. So they live with them.
Not everybody don't live with the kids. Everybody don't live with the kids, Jade. Yeah.
Well, for who don't live with the one, please go spend some time with them this weekend, because y'all know next week. Oh yes, I forget to mention bye.
Oh, Suki?
The good old grippy man. the pulley man.
What happened to Suki?
Suki go in jail again. Suki just go out of jail, you know. By the way, I get to see the grippy pulley man no time soon, bye. This man by right now it says information reaching the DBN, which is the Dominica breaking news, that popular artist Suki Burnbrain has been arrested, charged and remanded in custody. This is a sad moment for Boyan music lovers. Suki was charged for battery and threats. It is alleged that he beat a female and also made threats to the woman, saying, "I have to shoot you." Sorry, what? Have to, you know. I have to shoot you. He pleaded not guilty to both charges.
Seems a bit angry about something.
A bit.
He seems a bit angry about
He's
something.
he also got another case for stealing. Listen, Mr. Grippy, get your life together, please.
He was trying to, Jade. He was trying to. That's the sad part about this, you know. As soon as you try to make a step in the right direction, here comes society trying to pull you back down. But hey, black man can't survive, bye.
That's what I feel happening.
No, seriously, I think that's what happening though.
Okay, well.
I think not that anybody is purposefully doing it, but I believe that he was probably at a point in his life where he felt he was making a turn.
On the cusp.
He was making a turn for the best.
But
and
boy, them all demons, boy.
The pastor come back to haunt you for real.
Boy.
Pastor come back to haunt
Mr. Suki, Mr. Grippy, listen. We're going to pray for you, okay?
Bye.
We're going to pray for you and hope that whatever demons are pestering your soul currently, that you're able to get over them. A little time in jail would do you some good to just...
No, Lord, man.
Well, he don't go in as him.
You don't know that the man plead not guilty. I mean, he was arrested, but he pled not guilty. Them charges ain't get dropped, man.
All right, friend. Well, whatever the outcome, sir, we wish you nothing but the best. If you do go to jail, sit down in there, write a song.
Maybe the problem was that the person who he ended up threatening, allegedly, didn't listen to his song.
She wanted to give him the grippy, the pulley?
I couldn't provide.
Well, I will continue
the man said, what you want here?
I will continue to play his songs, because that song is vibes. You know, long I begged Ika to play it up the cricket, but he cut style. But anyway, we need to get a clean version.
Hey guys, we gotta leave. We gotta go back. We gotta disembark, guys. We gotta disappear.
Yes, because Sandra is here with her nice little dress, looking all refreshed. Yeah, I know you're hot, man, and outside hot. Me looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's crazy hot outside. But guys, hopefully you guys have an amazing weekend and come back and hang out with us again next week. Please, guys, remember. But before I even do that, let me just thank everybody who took the time out to come hang out with us this week. Whether you join us on one of the digital media platforms, Facebook, with MediaScan.com, YouTube. Big up yourself one time. The radio gang. 98.9 FM. Big up yourself one time. And please, guys, remember to learn from the losses of others. You don't have to repeat everybody's mistakes.
Don't follow Mr. Grippy.
Stop chatting people.
Man, who chatting people? Oh, Mr. Grippy?
Yeah,
Mr. Pulley?
Stop threatening people.
Yeah.
If you want to do something, let's do it. But anyway.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, cool. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I just saying the real thing, you know. But anyway, guys, also please remember to spend more time living your content than posting it. And you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. I'm gonna see you guys